The night started off quietly at my lake cabin. My wife and I were enjoying coffee by the fireplace when we heard a strange noise, a scraping, almost like someone trying to pry something loose. At first, I thought it was just a branch brushing against the siding, but then we heard the unmistakable sound of a window being forced open. My wife turned pale as the noise grew louder. I went to check, and to my shock, there was HOA Karen herself, halfway through my living room window. Huffing and puffing, her arms reaching toward the desk where I kept important documents. "What are you doing in my house?" I shouted, but Karen froze only for a moment before snapping back. "This deed isn't yours. The HOA owns this property now. We're claiming it for the neighborhood." Her voice was shrill, her face red with a mix of anger and desperation. She wasn't bluffing either. Her hand was just inches away from the folder where my family's original property deed was stored. That deed was proof that my cabin, land, and the surrounding acreage had belonged to my family for generations, long before the HOA was even created. My wife didn't waste time arguing. She grabbed the phone and dialed 911, her voice steady. As she explained, "We have a woman breaking into our home, attempting to steal legal documents. Please send officers immediately." Karen's bravado faltered as she heard those words. Her eyes widened, and she started fumbling, trying to crawl back out the window as quickly as she could. But she was stuck. Her jacket caught on the frame, and she was left flailing helplessly like a raccoon caught in a trap. When the police arrived minutes later, the scene was almost comical. Karen was still halfway in, halfway out, muttering excuses about protecting HOA interests and confiscating unlawful documents. The officers didn't buy a word of it. They pulled her out, cuffed her, and escorted her to the cruiser while she kicked and screamed that she was just doing her job as president. One of the officers, clearly trying not to laugh, handed my wife a copy of the report and said, "Looks like your HOA president just downgraded herself to a trespasser." In the end, Karen was charged with breaking and entering, attempted theft, and harassment. The HOA board, embarrassed by her reckless actions, immediately suspended her from all duties. My wife and I kept our deed safe, and the neighborhood finally saw Karen for who she really was, a desperate woman willing to crawl through windows to cling to power she never truly had.